question. Okay, he has to do a real test.
Okay.
Okay, here's the partner test from Friday. I'm gonna show you how to do each problem. Number one, this one is simply multiplying. When you're multiplying, what do you do with the 6 and the negative 7? Multiply them. And then as far as your x's, you're gonna add the exponents. So what do you get for x to the 3 and y to the 8? So we gave 3 points for this, one for the number, one for the x to the 3rd, and one to the x by the 8. So the rules that you need to know are if bases are the same and you're multiplying, what to do with your exponents. Now for number 2, this is a power to power rule. You're gonna raise each of these to the 4th power. So you've got 3 to the 4th power. And then what do you do with these 2 right here? Do you add them? Multiply them.
That's my mistake.
Multiply them. You gotta get those rules straight. Now, are you gonna leave 3 to the 4th power as it is, and are you gonna leave y to the negative 12th power? It says use only positive exponents.
You just gonna use
What is another name for 3 to the 4th?
81.
And what do I do with y to the 12th?
Bring it down.
Bring it down. Good. Okay, this next one. This is asking you, if you know what to do with just this parenthesis right here, you have to distribute this negative 3 power. So it's, right now you have 2x to the negative 5th y squared, and on the bottom, you have 3 to the negative 3rd, x to the what power? What do you do with these 2? Multiply. So you have x to the negative 6th and y to the 12th. Now, you do not want a negative exponent. So this, and this all have to switch. But what can we do with these y's? Let's get rid of them. What do you do with y squared and y to the 12th? Where? Yes.
On the bottom.
Yep, so those are, so we're good with those. Now, what about these x's? What's gonna happen to them? This is gonna come up, and I heard it, there's only gonna be one x. Where is that one x gonna be? At the top. So if you wanna just cross it out and write x to the x on top and y to the 10th. Now, what happens to this 3 to the negative 3rd? It goes up. What is another name for 3 to the 3rd? 27, and what's 27 times 2? 54. So that's your answer for that one.
Wait. What happened to the one to the left of it? You just,
Which one?
the,
These 2 switch spots.
okay.
See, this went up here, x to the 6th, and this came down, x to the 5th. So you've got 6 x's on top and 5 on the bottom. So all of these cancel with 5 of these. You only have 1 x on top. And then
What happened to that 2?
well, we multiplied 3 to the 3rd power is 27.
Yeah.
And 27 times 2 is 54.
Oh, okay.
Next one, number 4. Now, what I like to do on these ones that you have a quotient and then you've got some negative exponents you could distribute this. You could do that. You could raise 3 to the negative 4th, 5x to the negative 4th, you could do that. Or what we could do is simplify what's inside first and then distribute. Either way, it's fine. So what I would probably do is bring this x to the negative 2 up here, because it's a negative exponent. So what do we end up having as far as x's go?
X and 3rd?
This is gonna come up here. You've got 5 right
X to
now.
7.
Yes. Now see this y to the negative 2, it's gonna come down here. So how many y's do I have?
2.
2 with 4 already, so that's 6. And now this 3 is just gonna stay there. Now I've got to distribute. I've got to distribute this to here, into here. So you have 3 to the negative 4th, x to the negative 28th over y to the negative 24. Now, I don't like these negative exponents, so what are you gonna do? You're gonna change all the negative exponents. So the 3 to the negative 4th is gonna come on the bottom. Y to the negative 24th is gonna come up on top. And x to the negative 28th is gonna go on the bottom. Change the exponents. Now, there's one better answer. What is 3 to the 4th?
81.
Yay, 81. This will all be on YouTube and Weebly. Okay, these 4 should be really easy, you guys. How do you find the cube root of a number? Cube root of negative 64 is what?
-4.
Negative 4. What about the 4th root of negative 256?
No solution.
No solution. Why?
Because you can-
If the index is even, this number can't be a negative number. Good job. How about this one?
0.3
0.3. Is there another answer?
Plus or
plus or minus.
When the index is even, I want you to write both plus and minus. And this one too,
12.
plus or minus 12.
Oh, I thought you didn't have to put plus or minus if you.
If it's
didn't.
even, yeah, you're going to.
I thought if you like had to put the radical or whatever in there.
No.
I don't know.
No, you're gonna do that. Okay, how about 19, number 9? 15 times 15 is 225. Right?
15 y to the 7.
In y to the 7. So your answer is 15y to the 7, because you have 14 of these. So you're going to group them up 2 of a kind, so you've got 7 groups. Number 10. Travis, is this in the camera?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make it bigger. All right, we are multiplying, and both indexes are a what?
Or
A 4. So how many of a kind are we looking for?
4.
4. How can you break 8 up?
2, 2, 2,
2, 2,
How about the 10?
5, 2.
So we're looking at 4 of a kind. Do you see 4 of a kind?
4, 2,
Yep. So what comes out then?
2,
A 2. What stays?
the 5.
So you should have, this is what stays. Now, let's simply count. How many x's do you have? 5 and 2 is 7. So how many groups of 4 do you have? The x's. If you have x to the 7th,
We have one group of.
you have 1 group
And 3 stay.
and 3 stay. Good job. How about the y's? How many y's do you have?
4.
And how many you're looking for? 4 of a
4.
kind?
Yes.
So it's 1 y comes out. Do anything in here?
No.
So there's your answer right there. Put it all together. Number 11. This was a hard one for you guys because of that negative. Can you take the cube root of a negative number?
Yes.
It's going to come out negative. So it's going to be negative 1 times, and then how do you break up 18? Now let's pretend like this is just a regular 18. 6 is 2 times 3. I'm just doing the numbers. And then 9 times 2. Whoops. 9 times 2 is 18. So, what do we have? We have a negative 1 times 3 times 5. Anything else? Do we have 3 of a kind of anything here?
Yeah, it's 3.
3.
So we're gonna have another 3. So what stays? What stays? We dealt with that.
The 2.
That stays. That was gone. We have 2 2's left, which is 4. Now count up my x's. How many x's do we have? 7. And if we're looking for 3 of a kind, how many groups of x's can we take out? Right? Oh, sorry. Yeah, 6.
That's right.
And then 1 left over. So now we're gonna leave our answer like this, is negative 1 times 3 times 5 times 3.
No.
No.
That's it. Okay, next. When you're dividing and the indexes are the same, you can do what? Cancel. 4 goes into 24 how many times?
6.
6. How about these x's?
4, X1.
And how many y's?
Y to the third.
What's on the bottom is a 1. You don't even need it. So now we're looking for 3 of a kind. Do you have 3 of anything that can come out?
Why?
X and Y.
An x and a y. An x and a y. Whoops.
And an X stays.
And then a 6 stays and an x stays. So that's your answer. So we have 4 x's here. And if we're looking for 3 of a kind, one of them comes out and one of these y's come out. So what's left is 6 and that 1x. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of.
Kind of?
I got it.
You want me to do it over?
No, I get it.
Want me to do it over?
No, sorry, I got it.
You got it? Okay. All right, what about this one? What simplifies? 2 goes into 10 how many times?
5.
How about the x's?
X is
Negative 3.
Where?
on the bottom.
Bottom.
And what about the y's?
Y is 6 on top.
Okay, now, what are we looking for? How many of a kind? 2. Do you have anything that can come out?
X and a Y.
The x, we have 3 x's here, so one of the x's comes out,
3 of the Ys.
and 3 of the y's come out. Good. So what's left?
5.
Now, what's wrong with this answer?
You got a thingy, radical thing, you gotta.
So you're gonna multiply by root 5x, root 5x. So your answer is y cubed root 5x over, see if you know what this is left on the bottom. 5 x squared, got it. You have an x here, but you have an x here. 5x squared. Questions, anyone? Okay, back side. Can we cancel anything? Does 3 go into 50? No, it does not. But is there anything that you can take out first? I know 50 is a big number that can be simplified. That's what you get. 50 is 2 times 5 times 5 times x. Is there any groups of 2 of a kind that you see?
5.
So this is gonna come out, and it's 5 root 2x. Excellent. Now, what's wrong with this problem is you've got a radical here. We don't want. So we're gonna multiply the top and the bottom by root 2x. So you end up with, what's root 3 times root 2x? Root 6x, and then the bottom, what do you have? A 5, a 2, and an x. What's that? 10x. 5 times 2 times x, which is 10x. Good question?
Yeah, I times the top by the bottom.
You can do that. You'll
I
get
got a
this,
totally different answer.
you got a totally different answer. Let's see what you got. This
Wait,
is-
what?
Okay, so Cassidy's saying you did this.
Yes.
Okay, what did you get on top?
150.
Over 50x.
Oh, I
Now, what you have to do is simplify this, and then there's gonna be something that's gonna cancel.
I just divided it because I didn't put it in.
Okay. Okay, number 15. They're both indexes are the same, so let's simplify. How many times does 6 go into 42?
7.
How about the A's? You got 4 A's on top and 6 on the bottom. And how about the C's?
A, C to one, C1.
Yep. Now, what's wrong with this problem?
Can't leave it in the radical, so you gotta.
So
find
what's missing?
A and C squared.
Good job. A and C squared.
Wait,
A and C squared. Can you tell us why
why'd
you figure out an A and a C squared?
Because you have to get the third root.
Yes, third root, and you've got two of them, so you need one single A, and you've got one C, you need two C's. So let's put it all together. On top, you will have the cube root of what? 7AC squared over, you have one A and one C. And that's done.
You zoom out a little bit, the camera's like kinda close.
Zoom out,
Yeah, just a little.
like that.
That's good. Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, number 16. 7 times the cube root of 5x plus, we've got a new rule here.
1,
Yeah, so what do you get?
just 8 root 3.
Mhm.
Or, yeah, 5x.
Good, done. Real simple. Number 17, what are you gonna do here? We've got some issues.
You gotta break it down. and find
Break
a way
it
to-
down.
Break what down? What's 12?
2 times 2 times 3.
So what comes out?
2.
And what do you do with that 2 and this 4?
You times them.
Good. Okay, minus. How do you break 48 up? 6 times 8?
2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times
Yep. So what comes out here?
3. 2 2.
Which is 4 root 3. And then what about the 6 root 75?
Isn't it 5 times 5 times 3?
Yep. 3 times 5 times 5, so you're gonna take the 5 out.
Yep.
What do you do with that 5 and this 6?
You
Multiply and you get 30.
30. Root 3.
Okay, next, what do you do? What's 8?
8
Minus 4
Is
is
4.
4.
plus 30.
30.
How many got that right? Good. How many are gonna get it right tomorrow? Everybody, good. Okay,
That's right.
do you remember what this is called?
You're foiling.
Conjugate.
It's spelling it wrong. Conjugates. What do you know about conjugates? They're the same numbers, but opposite signs. So what do you have to do on this one? All you do, instead of FOIL, what do you do?
Just multiply them together.
First and last. Just these two. Just like that. So what is 5 root 3 times 5 root 3?
25 root 9.
And what's root 9?
49.
So he said 25 root 9.
And then that's 3, so 25 times 3, so 75.
Good job. And then what's 7 times 7?
49.
39.
Okay, now what are you going to do finally?
75 times 49.
Which is
And 26.
easy?
Yeah.
Okay, 19. What are they asking you to do on this one?
Multiply by itself.
Good. So there's 2 of them. Now, are these conjugates?
No.
No. So we have to FOIL this one. This is a little harder than the previous one. So let's FOIL. First, what's root 6 times root 6? Instead of root 36, can I just say 6?
Yeah.
Okay, what's root 6 times 4?
4 and 6.
And I got news for you, you're gonna have another one.
You just make 8 root 6.
Yes, you're gonna have 8 root 6. And what's 4 times 4?
16.
Okay, what goes together? Those two. And what's 16 plus 6? Okay. Now, are these conjugates? No. Again, you have to FOIL. What's 6 times 3? 18. What's 3 times 5 root 3?
15 root 3.
Mhm. What's negative 4 root 3 times 6?
24 is
And then this one. Negative 20 times root 9, which is, what's 20 times 3? 60. Okay, now these two go together. What's 18 minus 60?
42.
Negative 42, right? And then what about these two?
9.
9 and 3.
Negative 9 root 3. 21, what do you do on this one? Multiply by the conjugate, good. What is the conjugate?
4 plus root 6.
I will give you a point if you just write this. 4 plus root 6 over 4 plus root 6. These two have to be the same, because why?
So whatever you do the bottom.
Because it's
and
1.
the top. Oh.
Whatever you do the bottom, you do the top. Thanks, Kaylin. Okay, so now what's 2 root 5 times 4? 2 root 5 times 4. 8 root 5. What's 2 root 5 times root 6? 2 root 5 times root 6.
35.
2 root
30.
30. Okay, bottom. Now these are conjugates. Do we have to FOIL this one?
No, just F and L.
F and L. So this times this is 16 minus 6. Okay, what could you do now? Wait, what?
You can
What, 2?
you can
Oh, yeah, you can subtract the
simplify
bottom.
it.
You can subtract that. What do you get?
10. Or, yeah.
One last
You can
thing.
break down the third.
No,
2
30 you can't break down. 2 goes into all 3 of these numbers.
Oh, yeah.
2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 8 4 times, and 2 goes into 10 5 times. So what's your grand finale answer here? 4 root 5 plus root 30 over 5. And leave
Can I
it.
ask you a question?
Yes.
So, if I can't find a perfect square for a number, can I just leave it at that? Alright, 'cause like, I was like, what I did was
Like that.
I had that, but what I did was I tried to get like another root 5, so I did root 5 times root 6.
No,
And then,
no.
yeah, I just tried, I didn't know, yeah.
Modifying the different than yours.
Okay, so tomorrow is your test. I want to go over something really quick. How do you study for a test, a math test? How do you study for a math test?
Go over it.
Do you take your test and go, oh, 6 times negative 7 is negative 42, oh, okay?
No.
No, the best way, cover that.
I'm about to print another one for both of you.
Cover that, or print a new one, and try to do it. You're gonna blank out right here. If you don't have any work here, you'll blank. If you don't know how to do the problem, you will blank out at this point. It's best to blank out at home, and then you can study. Thank you. Can you turn, Travis?
Yes.
Yes. Sure.